Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at all the leaked heroes coming to Deadlock. Now, it was recently leaked within Steam discussions that there's a way to access all the unreleased heroes within the game files. And now you can access these in offline mode, such as the sandbox I'm in today. You're going to be using the console command dump hero_names. And I'll be linking the post below with credit. Not all of these are finished and some of them are. So for example, today, the first one we're going to be looking at, as you can tell right here, this one's not a playable character just yet, but this is codename Astro, also known as Holiday. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the hero select screen. Now, once you select the character and you go back to the select screen, you can see their bio and all their abilities. So codename Astro is hero name Holiday. She bounces about the spinning trick shots. You can go ahead and read the bio there. We're just going to be looking over her abilities real quickly. So she has a powder keg where she throws a barrel that explodes when it's shot, a bounce pad, just like the ones you can find on the map, but she can use herself, a hat trick, which is a reveal ability that will bounce in between enemies, and her ultimate is a lasso that allows you to pull an enemy hero. So I'm just going to showcase it really quickly right here. So our barrel right there, it explodes, dealing damage. It's going to be really good against our minions or creeps. She has this revolver weapon with 10 bullets in it. Single fire, nice for those good shots of ours. And then our second ability is going to be that jump pad that really pushes you forward. It's not, and it looks like it also, you deal some damage when you land right there. So when I landed on the bot dummy right here, I did deal some damage. I'm assuming that goes up with spirit damage. I'll hover over these if you want to pause and read. Now, number 3 is going to be the hat trick. She throws out her hat, right, slowing and revealing enemies through the walls. So if I go ahead and I throw my hat right here, I can still see the enemy through the wall. See, that seems to last pretty long. It might be because I'm in the range, I'm not sure. And then we go ahead and showcase her ultimate. If you want to pause and read right here, it does shoot out in the cone. You can hold it in your hand after pressing the button. And then once you're in range, you left click and you can drag them. Now this is a little longer than the default just because I am using a couple items that lower the cooldown and extend the range of it. And that's going to be it for this hero. Alright, so we're on our second hero here, Calico. You can go ahead and read that if you get some time. These aren't fully uploaded, so we're going to go ahead and just go straight into their abilities. Now their name is Calico, but their code name is Nano if you want to take a look at her. Now the first ability is going to be this cat icon in the lower left, number 1. It actually releases a little cat, which I can press the button again to explode. Second ability here is going to be triggered by 2. Now I have to be in range of a target. If I press it, it doesn't toggle. So, sorry, let's go ahead and hover that. And then this is our second ability. You're going to leap at it, targeting them, causing damage and slow. So you can also, I believe, target an ally, so you can dash either at an ally or an enemy. So for example, there we go, I can leap at my teammate, which in this case you can do it towards a minion, and then give it a couple seconds here, and we're gonna go ahead and dash towards the bot. So after dashing towards that bot, looks like I dealt some slow, some damage. Nice AoE ability right there. Now our third ability right here, we're going to see that we spawn a statue that costs us some life steal, and it's only active while we're near it. It's a really fun ability. I like this, is probably my favorite of all the heroes. So we see it's a little cat and we have to be near it for it to be active, and it gives us some nice life steal. I'm not sure if it's working right now, but it does. Hopefully it'll work in the future, and we can see right there. And finally, our ultimate ability, number 4, Queen of Shadows. It doesn't really have a description or anything, but from what I can see here, we get into this shadow dimension. I'm assuming it's like a haze phase, and we can select an enemy target, or actually this might be buffing us, so I'm not quite sure. We don't really have a description for this ultimate. So looks like we do the same amount of damage in and out of the ult, and it doesn't seem to reload our abilities. So I'm not quite sure, other than this invisibility, what this gives us, but I guess we'll see in the future when she gets updated. Looks to last around 12 seconds. This next hero, Calin, also codenamed Calin, doesn't seem to have much on the description. These are placeholder videos that they have here, so they don't have much yet, and their model doesn't seem to be completely finished. However, we can see a showcase of their weapon, the semi-automatic rifle, deal their ammo count, what their abilities do, right here. So we have a blade boomerang heal that I'm assuming slows enemies on hit. Pack Hunter, which seems to be just like a speed up of sorts, maybe some sort of lifesteal ability. Or you may have to upgrade it, as you can see there, to get a lifesteal. Dust Storm, let's see right here, some sort of slowdown that goes in the direction. Looks like some fire rate slowdown that you send forward, lasts a couple seconds, some kind of projectile. And our ultimate, Trapper's Delight. Let's give it sends a bolo. So I'm assuming this is stunning this character here, perhaps holding him in place, and we can increase it to stun stronger, so immobilized. So it looks like they're stunned but not immobilized. And we can also upgrade to get some lifesteal on that. Our next hero is Gunslinger. Again, this is even more rudimentary than the other one. No placeholders really here, but we do have some abilities that we can look at. Looks like they have very basic things here. We do have a weapon we can shoot, kind of fire, very high fire rate, kind of pistol. I'm assuming they're gonna have. This is the model if you wanted to take a look. Let's take a look at their abilities. Cone of rapid fire, a rocket launcher, which seems to boop enemies up in the air. 10-second cooldown. Tenacity, not quite sure. I'm going to assume this is going to be some sort of passive in the future, which hasn't been completely updated in the game files. And then our ultimate looks to be a sleep bomb. Now I'm pressing the button. Okay, so it looks like to be this expanding AoE, maybe some sort of sleep, kind of like what Haze has. Next hero, codenamed Yakuza, is actually the boss. Again, even more placeholders here. Looks like we're kind of going backwards here, but ability is Shakedown. There's some sort of debuff to the enemy here, and then AoE, some sort of damage over time. It's also slowing me down actually, and it looks like I took some damage as well, so maybe it's some kind of I take damage and I'll also slow down as much as them. This is their weapon. Again, we don't really see much of a model here. Let's see what their second ability here does. Gangster health. Mouse 3 cast on self. So it looks like we can kind of spawn a copy, a mimic of ourselves here. I'm not sure if they're also shooting, but it looks like they do have a health pool. It might just be some sort of mimic. It reminds me of a Mirage clone from Apex Legends. Yeah, gangster. You spawn a gangster. Protection racket. 60% weapon recoil. So this looks like to be some sort of buff. This kind of reminds me of you can kind of buff an ally or buff yourself is kind of what it's looking like. I'm burst firing. This looks very strong. Now setting sun. Let's see what our ultimate does here. A very big AoE with a huge damage, and it looks like they might take greater damage inside the interior circles. Kind of reminds me of Bastion from Overwatch. Next is Tokamak. Some sort of robot kind of hero. This one does have a bio and some ability icons. Now, as you can see, they have some heat dependent abilities. So our first ability here is going to be called Hot Shot. It's sort of a flamethrower, or your kind of ability. Our second ability is Dying Star. It's some sort of grenade. Sorry, not grenade. A damaging AoE jump that we do right there, setting them on fire as well. Blinding Radiance. Now, I tried this one out. I can't tell much of what's going on here, but it looks like when I get into the line of sight of them, I'm causing some sort of damage. It might be some sort of flashbang once they get fully released. And then finally for our ultimate is the Pulse Cannon. I'm gonna give it a try. So it looks like I can select the target here and kind of charge it up. Now it didn't work very well there. Let's give it another try here. So I can select, I believe it might be like a one-shot kind of ability. No, I'm probably not using it correctly. And I'm not quite sure, but it looks like their weapon works differently than others. It just has an overheat kind of mechanic. It doesn't really use ammo. Next we have Wrecker. You can go ahead and read that bio if you have some time. His first ability is going to be Wrecking Ball. He charges up the sort of scrap ball, and once you throw it, it does stun. You can also move around with it. As you can see here, I can charge it up, take some time, and I can walk around. I'm just slowed down. And there we go. This weapon, he has some sort of ray gun here. It's kind of cool. 10 bullets to it. Our second ability here is going to be Consume. So we can go ahead and actually stun a trooper or NPC and damaging them while holding them. This also, if we do get a kill with it, it recharges our next ability. So if we give it a try here, it looks like we can only use it on NPCs, because that would be very broken. It's a pretty long stun that you can hold somebody in place. And then our next ability, it's going to be Bioblast. You shoot at a blast of consumed remains, damaging and slowing enemies. So you charge it up a little bit, and you get a little stun. Then finally, our ultimate is going to be Astral Walk. It's going to launch a flying shadow of us, and we can control it, and wherever it lands, we land, and we get a pretty big stun. That scales up with how long we've been flying. So if we were flying around for quite a while here, I'm charging up my ultimate. When I finally land, it's going to be a huge stun and huge damage. Now we have Mirage. He fires off barrages while evading the shots. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the abilities, since we don't have much on the screen there. Our first one's going to be Tornado, which sends out a tornado and damages enemies, also lifts them up. We take a good look there. It's a nice little stun. I believe an ability like that already exists in the game, a similar kind of punch up. Now, it's not as short as that one, and I believe it's a smaller, just single target. Next is Fire Beetles. We're going to go ahead and start launching Fire Beetles at a ground location, applying that slow. So it just looks like another AoE slow. It looks like a very long duration. I'm not quite sure why we have that bar down there, because that doesn't seem like the... Oh, okay, so we get a launch window to send all 3 of them. Once that window ends, we can't use the rest of the charges. And we can increase the movement slow with an upgrade. Next is Whirling Dervish. They become enveloped in a whirlwind, gaining bullet evasion. So it looks like we can't get hit by enemies, bullet weapons while we're in this ability. Seems a little broken to me, though it's 40%, so it's not 100% evasion, but it can be, sounds pretty decent. I guess it's their DPS. Next, ultimate is going to be Jin's Reach. Launch a projectile that roots the first target it hits, then tethers other enemies. Charge it up, and it charges. It looks like they have a placeholder here of a warden stun, but that seemed pretty long, and current seems to be a couple second cooldowns. I don't think that's intended to be that way. That would be a little bit weird of an upgrade there, but it seems interesting. So guys, that's gonna be it for today. It looks like we only have really about 2 heroes that are fully completed and ready to be punched out onto the game here. I assume in the next couple of weeks from this video's upload, we're probably going to be getting 1 or 2 of them. That's probably going to be this one. So Astro and Calico looks like are the ones ready to be released. All the other ones, including a few that I didn't include in this video, are very much still in development phase. A lot of them don't have models. Most of their models can't move, which is why I didn't include them. But do let me know if you want to see some more, and hopefully in the future, when those get updated, we're going to get a chance, and then I'm going to go ahead and upload some videos. But let me know if you want to see them still in their placeholder phase. I'll go ahead and make another one. But thanks for watching. Bye.